Hi, I'm Dr. Ruth Anderson with Enlightened World. Thank you so much for being with us here for our Ceremony of Light. Tonight's Mistress of Ceremony is Anaya Joy Ho-Lily, and she is going to start with us right now. So thank you so much for being here.
Welcome everyone to the Ceremony of Light, and thank you for joining us for this beautiful event called Solstice of the Soul, a celebration of love, light and joy. We are ringing in the new year with love, celebrating and claiming the light that we are gifted with by God, by leading with joy as we move forward into the new year. This event brings this season of Sunday summits to a close at the most perfect time of the year. The new year symbolizes change, a rebirth of you into a higher version of yourself after processing experiences from the past. These summits were the brainchild of Archangel Michael. The topics were inspired by spirit and spirit-led. Our journey through these 9 weeks was guided by the conversations that Spirit arranged. Each week, we were guided to be joined, each week, we were joined by Archangels Michael and Raphael and Divine Mother. Each summit resulted in participants and other souls in and out of body, attending the healing pool and being greeted by Divine Mother, spirit guides and angels. We were immersed into the holy waters of the divine healing pool of love for transformation. And transformation is such a powerful thing, isn't it? We were able to hand over our grief and pain, and it was received and embraced by the angels, and healing was provided. For many, the pain was transmuted to joy. Through the Sunday summits, we have each grown in seeing patterns and stories that we were encouraged to release. We shared our personal difficulties, our joyous beliefs, patterns, experiences, and discussed techniques. This ultimately allowed us to take a deeper look within. We took the opportunity to grow in our safe summit community, held in the loving arms of the divine. Each of us has done enormous work in these short 9 weeks, redefining and readying ourselves for a major shift in consciousness for 2020, moving up and away from old beliefs so that we can be more authentic, stay present, and make every choice out of our highest good. We now take a much deeper conscious responsibility for our well-being without being attached to the outdated paradigms or the energetic stories of the past. This allows us to embody the vibration of joy and love, for they are not emotions, they are states of being. Love and joy are the substance of our innate divinity. We honor ourselves today and every day for being willing to look deep within and to do the work necessary to be free, to experience the magic of ourselves and this world. Without further ado, let us proceed with this joyful celebration of you. Please light a candle and settle in as Sue Broom invites in the angels and divinity to join us.
Thank you, Anaya. That was beautiful. And thank you, everyone that is with us here tonight and that is pulling this all together. And together, let's invite the angels and our ascended masters in. You can put your hand on your heart if you'd like. You can close your eyes if you'd like. I invite God, Goddess, Divine Mother, Divine Father, Spirit, all that is love, archangels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, and all archangels Jesus and all ascended masters, each of our guardian angels, the elemental realm of the fairies, the earth spirits, unicorns, and more, our spirit guides, current and future, our galactic friends, our loved ones in spirit, our past and future selves. I invite you to continue in the knowledge and the knowings in our lives as we share this celebration together. I invite you in to continue with the courage to be open to the new ideas and the remembering of our true spiritual selves. I invite you in, archangels, divine, and all that is love. I invite you to be with us now so we can feel your love from within. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Sue. I've got to get back into my earthly body. Oh, gosh. Archangel Michael and Divine Mother showed us that the healing pool is part of the summit. That is part of the summit was being prepared. Lotus blossoms surrounded with ivy are floating in the pool. Each blossom has a light cream coloured candle in the centre. Cream and red coloured sashes were hung off the red rock walls surrounding the pool and waterfall. Red flower petals were generously sprinkled on the ground, representing us in spirit and all that have come and gone before us. The smell of roses perfumes the air. As we look at the water, we notice that it is teeming with dancing light of love-filled energetic beings. Angels are at the ready to greet all that come in. Allow yourself to stop and take in the wonders of the sight, the sounds, the smells, and how you are feeling. While we are listening to this music, please feel free to close your eyes and imagine that you see yourself joining us at the celebration party at the healing pool.
That was beautiful. And this is a quote from the Enlightened Women, Enlightened You Journal by Mira Rubin. Each of us is here with a call to be extraordinary, to boldly embody our dreams and fulfill our unique mission and purpose. In serving a vision that's bigger than ourselves, we naturally expand into unimagined capability, soaring beyond perceived limitations and attachment, and into an uncharted realm of possibility, freedom, and magic.
Our summit speakers will lead us as we revisit each of the summit shows, starting with Teri Angel and week number 1.
Week number 1, kicking off our season of Sunday summits, Linda Dirks, Sylvia Ferrero, and Deb Goldberg gave us a reset from the winter blues by offering a meditation and plenty of tools to get you moving into joy. Their topic was moving out of the winter blues by connecting with divine love and joy. Here are a few highlights from this show.
I had to work on how do I maintain joy in the cold, cloudy days. And that I need to stop telling myself that story because it keeps taking my power away. That I don't really like the cold. It makes it, and I feel uncomfortable all the time. And the cloudiness. He said it's a preference. You have a preference that you like the sunshine and the warm weather, but we're not to give power over even the climate, the season, whatever the weather, whatever is going on, that we keep that inside of ourselves, that we have control to choose joy.
For me, one of the things I love about winter is, even if here being in California, it's just like the darker days, it's a beautiful time to go inward. When we can connect and slow down, I know for myself, that moment of slowing down and trusting the seasons as the guide really helps me elevate those chemicals in my body, because I'm in a self-resource, self-loving state. And so that place is where I can slow down my mind. I can connect a little bit more to the emotions and actually give myself permission to feel. I wish I had, like, when I hear Linda speaking about her Christmases and all the feelings, I was like, I did not experience that at all. Christmas was like dark and like, get it over with. I was like waiting for the other side. So for me to actually learn to cultivate the joy took something. And it still takes something for me, really. And so giving myself the permission to feel what I do feel in terms of losses, like my dad's not around anymore. And that was a huge part of my Christmases. And so feeling the feels, really connecting with myself and the emotions helps me with like that oxytocin hit. Yeah. And I loved what Linda was also saying in terms of the cross-body patterning, like moving the body, finding ways. Like I crank up my music. It'll be a freaking 5-minute party of one dance off. It is a moment for me to self-empower myself with joy, with movement, with the fact that I get to be in this body. So those are ways in terms of where I think of in terms of like hormones and neurotransmitters. What can we do to actually connect and utilize all the magnificent magical tools that God, life, source, whatever you want to believe in, gave us to be in this physical world. I feel like that's a big one for me, is giving myself permission to feel all of it rather than trying to bypass it into joy and love. If I'm not feeling joy and love, like I let myself feel not joy and love for a while. Let me feel the anguish. Let me feel the loss. Let me feel whatever. And then I find that in that self-connection, I'm able to hear what my next step is in terms of, now let me generate love, but let me feel into the full color spectrum of the holidays, of all the things that show up. And that to me is living.
Winter was a time for me, maybe in wintertime, going into the creative and the intellectual pursuits. That was my way of planting new seeds for the spring, as Ruth was saying. What is my spring going to look like? What do I visualize for myself? And that can bring a whole lot of joy into the dark days of, the shorter days of winter.
The season was meant to be joyful. It is the season of spirit and love. Although everyone does not experience the change of seasons, depending upon their location, it is happening within your heart. It is the time to pull closer to me and enjoy our communion of love and admiration for each other as one. Rejoice in knowing you are never alone. I have sent angels to hold you up and take you higher. It is my joy to see you happy. That is all that I ask of everyone, for the only truth in this world is my eternal and unconditional love for you.
So Teri Angel is now going to share with us a quote from the Enlightened Women, Enlightened You journal.
This quote is by Dr. Ruth Anderson. Just as the stars are always in existence, even when we can't see them, we are always standing in divine light, even when we can't feel it.
Oh, wait a minute. Linda, you're muted. Hold on. Start again, please, Linda.
We were led by Anaya Joy Halili, Niobe Weaver, and Teri Angel through a beautiful sound healing and meditation. They helped us understand that all we are is love, and that we need to have people with whom we are safe to express our truth. We were reminded that we can always call on the divine to garner the strength to speak our truth. The topic for the summit was living authentically, shining magnificently even through fear. Here are a few highlights from this show.
What I'm discovering is the holidays is up to me. What do I want to create now?
So it's choice. It's about choice for me. It's brought up opportunities for me to choose what feels really good and connected to me, instead of looking at the past and feeling like it has to be that way forever. So it is a really amazing time right now to step out of the shadow of what I've created, that self-imposed, it's got to be this way or it's not going to be any good, that I'd created without realizing it. So Christmas for me is about giving thanks and experiencing joy for what actually is, and for what isn't, to be really grateful for everything that I've experienced there, and just to release it, which has taken a lot. It sounds really easy when I say it now, but it's taken me a lot. And it's the willingness. I've come home to willingness, whereas I was in that push and shove. I want it to be the other way. It can't be this way. It was just so uncomfortable. So choice and willingness, and celebrating the real reason for me, which is loving my fellow man, those that are with us, those that aren't, and extending that love in my heart to everyone else.
And then it's a thing of, well, I hear that you love me and you really want me there, but this is what I can do. And you just keep coming back to that authentic, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. I'm sorry you can't accept that this is what I can do, but I love you and I will miss you.
And I love the way you explained that. And it's really, it goes back to that saying, self first is not selfish. You took care of yourself first. And that's what we all have to realize. If we don't take care of us, then we have nothing to give to anybody else.
And is it okay if someone's not happy with you?
I used to be more of a people pleaser than I am now. Okay. And don't you find that the more you people please, you really lose sight of what you want, of who you are, and what does matter to me. So you just kind of, float along trying to make everybody happy. And, I had to really come to that realization. I have to take care of me. I have to do some things that I want to do. And that's when, things start really getting more clear about my worthiness. And I'm worthy to make a choice. I deserve to do the things I want to do.
I think that we have friends listening that haven't given themselves permission to stop and think about what they're feeling about it. That they've just gone with the flow year after year after year. And maybe it's time that they give themselves permission to say, boy, if I could do whatever I wanted to do this year at Christmas, what would I do? Would I stay home? Maybe I would do the same things that we've always done, but at least then it's my choice rather than feeling like it's just put upon me to do it over and over.
I am enough.
I deserve.
I deserve.
I deserve.
I let it go.
I let it go.
I let it go.
Okay, and so what we're going to do, because we have time, I'm going to play that so we can all see it, because you all are so beautiful. I want you to see this. So, okay, you're going to have to suffer with me on screen share, because I don't have that one open. So hang on. That was me all ready for all of this. Okay. Anea, you're going to let me know if you can't see that full screen.
What I'm discovering is the holidays is up to me. What do I want to create now?
So it's choice. It's about choice for me. It's brought up opportunities for me to choose what feels really good and connected to me, instead of looking at the past and feeling like it has to be that way forever. So it is a really amazing time right now to step out of the shadow of what I've created, that self-imposed, it's got to be this way or it's not going to be any good, that I'd created without realizing it. So Christmas for me is about giving thanks and experiencing joy for what actually is, and for what isn't, to be really grateful for everything that I've experienced there, and just to release it, which has taken a lot. It sounds really easy when I say it now, but it's taken me a lot. And it's the willingness. I've come home to willingness. Whereas I was in that push and shove. I want it to be the other way. It can't be this way. It was just so uncomfortable. So choice and willingness, and celebrating the real reason for me, which is loving my fellow man, those that are with us, those that aren't, and extending that love in my heart to everyone else.
And then it's a thing of, well, I hear that you love me and you really want me there, but this is what I can do. And you just keep coming back to that authentic, this is what I can do. this is what I can do. I'm sorry you can't accept that this is what I can do, but I love you and I will miss you.
And I love the way you explained that. And it's really, it goes back to that saying, self first is not selfish. You took care of yourself first. And that's what we all have to realize. If we don't take care of us, then we have nothing to give to anybody else.
And is it okay if someone's not happy with you?
I used to be more of a people pleaser than I am now. Okay. And don't you find that the more you people please, you really lose sight of what you want, of who you are, and what does matter to me. So you just kind of, float along trying to make everybody happy. And, I had to really come to that realization. I have to take care of me. I have to do some things that I want to do. And that's when, things start really getting more clear about my worthiness. And I'm worthy to make a choice. I deserve to do the things I want to do.
I think that we have friends listening that haven't given themselves permission to stop and think about what they're feeling about it, that they've just gone with the flow year after year after year. And maybe it's time that they give themselves permission to say, boy, if I could do whatever I wanted to do this year at Christmas, what would I do? Would I stay home? Maybe I would do the same things that we've always done, but at least then it's my choice, rather than feeling like it's just put upon me to do it over and over.
I am enough.
I deserve.
I deserve.
I deserve.
I let it go.
I let it go.
I let it go.
Great.
Thank you. I share this quote from the Words of Wisdom card deck by Rebecca Hall-Gruder. You are the gift. What the world needs is more of you. You are a gift to the world. Be willing to share and shine out the gift of you truly with the world. Thank you, Rebecca.
So week 3, can you all hear me?
Yes.
We had a deep conversation with Carol Ann Cross, Ivana Voso Morano, and Stacy Harder about grief and loss, not only loss by death, but also due to estranged relationships, ill health, finances, and other forms of loss. We shared a guided meditation, helping us shift, transcend, and transmute grief. Their topic was transmuting grief through oneness with spirit. Here are a few highlights from this show.
Divine Mother shared that the holidays are the perfect time for grace. In particular, she shared this wish for you. Number 1, allowing yourself the grace of feeling your authentic feelings. Number 2, extending yourself grace to either sink into those feelings or gift yourself the opportunity to shift, transmute, and step away from those feelings. And lastly, providing yourself the grace to reach out to others when you need some support, including reaching out to the archangels, Divine Mother, Christ, and God.
I don't have a family. And I am a woman in my 40 years of age. And it was something I always just expected and thought I would have. And so for me, there's actually a bit of sadness because the family is like the automatic thing I think you think of for the holidays. And so when you don't have that, you're like, oh, well, I don't even know what I'm going to do or where I'm going to be. And so I think for me, it's an interesting spin because I feel like, oh, I don't have my automatic family and automatic plans, and so it's a little different, but I love the holidays.
With loss, again, when you lose someone that you love, it kind of saddens you. It makes you upset. I mean, I lost my dad and I lost my sister, and those are the times that you really think about, again, the memories and all the things that we did as a child, and as a group, being together and being able to express it and share those memories with your children. It's a sad time, but yet those memories live on, and I talk about both of them. So we try to keep that alive.
But my major change in Christmas for me was when my eldest daughter passed, made her transition to spirit when she was 6 years old. So that completely changed the way I felt about many things, including Christmas. But I had at that time a 4-year-old daughter who still needed to have memories and love and Christmas. And so I lived through a lot of Christmases that on the outside I looked like I was very normal and having fun, but on the inside I was empty and lonely and sad. But then once I connected with Danielle in spirit, then that completely changed for me. And I love Christmas and I love family. I just think it's the best time of all. Well, I personally don't feel the guilt that I'm now experiencing life with my grandchildren and Christmas and fun and holidays. But that doesn't mean that I don't miss what I could have had. So, but then I don't also go back into that as well because, I know that Danielle is with me. I can feel her arms around me. I can feel her with me.
I'll hear a certain song and I'll go, oh, I get it now. I got it. So it's like her coming and telling me it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay.
When I talked to somebody about that, they said every major milestone in Lisa's life, you will feel the loss of Danielle. Mm-hmm. And so when Lisa got married quite a few years after that, I was a blibbering mess until I got to the church. And then as I walked through the church, all I could see were angels. There were angels everywhere. And I just knew then, no, I was fine from now on. So you can't put a timeline on that.
I feel like my future soulmate husband, talks to me sometimes where I'll hear something and be like, tears, I could just feel the love inside me, but he's not in my life at the moment, but I feel them. And so I think that there's ways we can communicate, and sometimes those are the moments where we're getting communication.
I know there is life after life because I used to feel extremely frozen most of the time in bed at night, until one night I just asked, is that you, Danielle? And as I asked her, my bones all warmed up. I went warm and I could feel her holding my hand. And she and I have worked together since that time. And so there's definitely life after life.
Well, it's interesting, as you're all talking and asking for validation, my lights are all flickering. So that's one way that she shows. Other ways she's shown to me is dreams. I mean, she comes to me in the dreams, and there was one incident where she came to me to thank me for something that I did for her, and it was so vivid that she grabbed my face and she kissed me on the face and she said, thank you. I feel her. Sometimes I could feel her. Like as I'm sitting, I can feel her presence, and it's just, for me, it's validating. It brings me peace.
And he just kept saying, Mom, stop crying. I'm okay. Stop remembering the moment that I died. Remember instead the way that I lived. But stop crying because I'm right here.
Yes.
No.
Even if they're on the other side, they're still with you. Mhm.
So this is a quote from the Enlightened Women Enlighten You journal by Sue Broom. That's the thing with calling in the angels every single day. Connecting to the divine every single day. Opening your heart. The more you do it, the more of a habit it becomes. Thank you.
Week 4, right before Thanksgiving, Sharon Rhea and Rebecca Abrascus treated us to exploring how your pain can be a gift at the holidays. Rebecca took us through a short meditation and sound healing. Here are a few highlights from the show.
Now, in meditation this morning, God reminded me that I had the choice. I always have the choice to choose to stay stuck in my pain, to bypass the pain, or to delve deep into it and transmute it.
And I look back on those pictures, I've evolved to the place of it's not about gifts. It's not about the things that we get or we give. It's about the emotional joy that we have being with the people that represent joy for us. And that now that I'm a divorced family, about how to put that to peace too.
It's a wonderful practice to tune into that emotional pain and see what message it has for us. But as we embark on the holidays, our emotional pain can be a roadmap to make different choices that may be better for us this year. And it doesn't have to be something that we do every year, but perhaps this year we need another choice to really be with the healing our bodies and souls are asking for.
What I was watching was soul after soul coming to the healing pool, and you were calling them in. And I saw those of us that are here, and we were holding space for you while you were doing the calling in.
Oh, wow.
Then after a while, we went down, Sharon and Teri and I went down, and we were supporting people that were coming into the healing pool. And I saw a couple of people sobbing at the healing pool. And it was just thousands. I have no idea how many, but it wasn't just people that were in body. It was also souls that were in body. And so it was a massive, massive healing on so many levels. So Rebecca, wow, standing in your ministry.
I am the founder of the global message, No Judgment, Just Love. And in that message, there is opportunity to embrace the concept that everything is happening for you, not to you. And when there is any event that we term painful, difficult, there is an opportunity to see that as a gift. Because in your pain or in the things that cause you discomfort, if you can view them as a gift, then you're being given something that widens your eyebrows and lifts your spirit. And then you can do one of the things that you mentioned, Ruth, which is to dive deep if you choose and see what the message is for you personally, or you can choose to just acknowledge it and walk over it. and not need to know. But when you see it as a gift, and it's like, oh, I wonder why I'm not with that person anymore. I wonder why we have a fractured relationship now. It must be something for me to learn. It must be a gift for me. And that for me has helped me help other people walk through the journey of their pain to find their joy.
And, you know, what comes to my mind, Sharon, is that we are all here to learn. And we learn the most when life is difficult. You know, when everything is going perfectly, there's no need to learn. We can just glide and coast. I'm getting goosebumps. Glide and coast and enjoy it. But boy, when the time gets difficult, like that gut-wrenching, heart-shattering, soul-stretching pain happens, that's when the coal turns into a diamond, right? That's when the growth happens.
This is a quote from the Words of Wisdom card deck by Ivana Bozzo Morano. A beautiful reminder from Source, God, Creator. We are all extensions of His love, and each one of us was created in His image. We already have all the qualities we need inside of us to create a beautiful life in this lifetime, on this journey. Thank you, Source, God, Creator, for your unconditional love. How blessed are we?
Hold on, Sharon, you're muted. Hold on. Sharon, hang on. Let's unmute you.
There.
Now there we go.
Thank you. We had a dynamic, week 5. We had a dynamic discussion with Myra Rubin, Olivia Parr Rudd, and Sue Broom on what happens when your expectations are not met during the holidays, followed by a channeled meditation on what does home mean to you. Their topic was home for the holidays. By the way, home is an inside job. Here are a few highlights from this show.
That's not the one I want.
I've had to recreate with all the moves that I've done, especially the last few years. I've had to recreate my family wherever I go.
Seems that no matter how much work we do, it's easy, unfortunately, to step into a family circumstance and just be catapulted back to the personality or persona that was left so many years ago. And I think we've talked about how it's a measure of our evolution to see how well we hold up in a family circumstance, because the roles are so deeply ingrained. I think it's really that I just became whole enough to be in a place where I don't need them to be a particular way. And so if I don't need their approval, or I don't need their reaction to be a certain way, then I'm able to be more present with who they are.
And I remember hearing this psychotherapist years ago that talked about how we could actually experience a grief process that the family we always dreamed we had or wanted, that could be parents or sisters or brothers or whatever, never really existed, and we get to see them for who they are. And so maybe we're grieving the loss of this dream. And I had to give up on them, my family, ever seeing me the way I had hoped, because I felt like then I was still looking outside for validation.
My family is really me, and my family is my loved ones on the other side who I have a very close relationship with, and my family as my guides and my star being friends, you know, so they're all a part of my family no matter where I go. And the more I looked at it, it was really the grieving process of grieving for the family gatherings with my family that I never had, nor would I ever have this type of family gathering with my blood family.
So how many of you have ever felt alone when you were at a family gathering? Here we go.
I think it's really important to be tender and compassionate and loving with ourselves during this time of year, because it can be such a confusion of emotions with all extremes, and using it as a time to get better acquainted with ourselves and to give ourselves the love that we need to evolve through it, I think is a real gift.
Coming to mind is the importance of preparing ourselves before we put ourselves into those uncomfortable situations. So if you are a meditator, that's the perfect day to make sure you don't miss that meditation time, to really get yourself grounded and comfortable in yourself before you put yourself out there.
And calling on the angels and making sure that you're clear, but also I call it pre-paving, asking the angels to pre-pave and not only keep your energy clear throughout the day, but keeping the energy where you are clear.
I love that, Mira, because one of my practices is whenever I'm in a difficult situation where I'm going to meet with somebody that I'm a little intimidated or nervous about it, before I see them, I imagine my heart connecting to theirs with pink light, and I actually say in my mind's eye, I love you to that person. And I can't tell you, it has changed so many dynamics. I really feel like it works. So.
And you feel the warmth and the love of the divine, of your angels, of your connection to your loved ones on the other side. Having that sense of always being at home, whether you're with other people, whether you are in a room full of blood family, people that you don't know. The home is within. And allow these words to ring through your day. I love me. I am whole and I am complete. I am home wherever I am, because home is what is within. In the words from Divine Mother, I see you. I hear you. I know your heart.
To feel that, really feel that home inside, because I think many times when I'm stressed, it feels unavailable. So I love the anchoring by putting my hand on my heart. And I've been wiping away tears, so I obviously had a very profound experience. Thank you.
This is a quote from the Words of Wisdom card deck by Heather Harder. You are more than you can imagine, and you live in a world much greater than you ever dared to dream.
Week 6. We were led by Teri Angel and Neela Minocha into a very important discussion and meditation on worthiness. Their topic was compassion, self-care, and self-worth during the holidays. Here are a few highlights from this show.
but she was recording all of these CDs and these albums, spending so much money, but she had no belief in herself and no self-worth. And I had to stop her in her tracks and say to her, look, you are absolutely destroying what you're creating because it's not matching up. You've got to support it with your self-belief of you. So that's when we had to do that inner work, release the fears, release the limiting patterns, the beliefs from parents, from society, religiously, undo all of that wounding so that she could absolutely follow her calling and live life to her fullest expression.
And then when my latest marriage ended, it was about 6 years ago, that's when I discovered that I was worthy. And I did it in a meditation, and I know it was spirit-led, and I heard those words. I heard, you are worthy. And I thought, I have never heard this before. No one has ever said that to me before. Like the intention Deb read today from God. It's like, you know, you are worthy. That's your birthright. You don't have to do anything to be worthy. You are worthy. You are enough.
I am enough. And my father was enough. And his father was enough. And I wish that they had been alive long enough to realize that.
That when that penny drops, when it really hits home, that I see it. I see the pattern. And the moment you recognize it, you break it. And so you stop it passing on to your children and their children. So we are breaking these patterns so that our children don't inherit these beliefs going forward.
How many of us on the call, and Deb, I would venture to guess you're one of these, that we were raised in homes where it was desired that we were invisible. And I believe that, and I'm getting goosebumps, thank you. I believe that even as children, Divine Mother was there that entire time saying, I hear you, I see you, I know your heart.
We invite you into the healing pool. Let the water cover you. And then as you emerge from that healing pool, feel the robe that we're wrapping around you, the robe of love, the robe of divine light. Feel the jeweled crown that we place on top of your head, signifying your worthiness.
We are always enough, dear ones. We are always whole and complete. You are wrapped in divine love and light. You are precious, magnificent beings of light. You are sovereign in your call. You are divine love in expression. We love and we honor you, each and every one of you. There is a new day and a new dawn, a new horizon, a new adventure. Do not be afraid to take that step. We are with you every step of the way.
There was an acknowledgement of receiving love from the divine. And then there was the acknowledgement of that's all there is love. Yeah. And with that, there was this amazing release of grief. And then I saw individual souls stepping forward. I mean, yes, I saw the crown and I saw, you know, the garment that they were robed in, and I saw them stepping forward into immense light of divine love. And it was beautiful.
There's a lot of love in here. There was just so much love and vibration. Beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of love. That was what was coming forth. And they really wanted to get out that message of they hear us. They hear our heart, not our words that we're speaking. They hear what's inside.
And Mother Mary always said it's so important to cry because, you know, otherwise we suffer inside. And when we release through tears, and sometimes you see statues of her around the world and she's crying because she's releasing for the people. When we are compassionate, we release for others as well.
Not just something you can take a class and all of a sudden you're compassionate. The class comes from God and from your angels and your guides. So meditating, taking that time every day to connect with your higher source. Just connect and ask, What do I need to work on? What can you help me to get rid of so that I can feel more compassion? I can feel more self-love, which means I'm going to be giving that love away.
And you know, in December, we have so many frequencies of light hitting the planet. So we have the 1212 gateway, then we have the winter solstice, and then we've got a solar eclipse on the 26th of this month. So we are being flooded with so much frequency of light. We are evolving as a planet, we are ascending, and we are needing to take that time out just to rest, to sleep, to meditate, to listen to what is coming through, to integrate the energies. So we cannot do what we used to do in the past of just burning the midnight oil, going out every night, getting drunk, eating lots of food, overeating. You have to have that balance in life, otherwise you're really going to feel it.
This is a quote from the Enlightened Women, Enlightened You journal by Karen Palmer. I think, how can I start to be kind and generous to myself? And then that will ripple out to the person that I'm talking to the situation that I'm in. And then it's all about having compassion. And compassion and kindness always start in your heart.
After the 6th week, our focus shifted to joy, celebration, and wonder. God provided us with this blessing for the summit speakers and viewers. Blessing for new energy and awareness. I am ready to accept and honor myself rather than looking for validation outside of me. I now see my divine nature, nobility, and holiness, regardless of what I or others think, see, do, or say. I accept my perfection now and only see my divine nature going forward. I am the only one who can forget this about myself. Therefore, I remind myself with certainty throughout the day. I am joy, light, and love. I honor myself with accepting that I am purity. I am the holy self. I am divine consciousness expressing itself, and it is always perfect, for nothing else exists.
Week 7. Winter time is a sacred time to rest and go inward. Summer, Joy Raymer, Niobe Weaver, Camille Del Salma, and Teri Angel led us in a discussion and meditation for personal expansion and embracing this time of year. We participated in a gem meditation that was channeled from Archangel Raphael. The topic of this summit was celebrating the winter solstice, a time to regroup and move into the light. Here are a few of the highlights from this show.
A couple of the gems, I was drawn to a couple of them, but asked which one was first. So I took the one that I understood to be first. And I knew even before I saw the pile of gems that it was blue and purple inside, side by side, blue and purple next to each other. And I put it on my tongue and it started to melt until it hit the blue purple, and there was and then it took a little bit longer to melt, very slowly, and I could feel it moving through my body. It was a soft flow through my body. Then something prickly hit inside each side of the blue and purple. There was something that looked like a burr, and it was sharp, and then I could feel it, something prickly under all of my skin throughout my body. I was nodding my head during the healing because I was aware that things were going away. And I don't know specifically what the blue is, but the prickly was very clear. And as it kept going, it got sharper and sharper. By the time I opened my eyes, it was almost all the way through the sharp points of the burr. So I assume the healing is still is still going.
Wow.
Thank you for that. I don't know consciously what they are right now, but it felt a relief that they're going.
That was it was really rich. I feel like we were off somewhere for hours, actually, in some ways. Often when I relate to the angelic realm, it's almost like it's right beyond my skin. But what I felt through that experience, that it brought the angel realm inside me. From my third eye, it was just like an inward cleanse of that just kind of came through, that pink and gold just sort of absorbed in the interior of me, became the angelic realm. Like it was just all inside me.
But as I've continued to grow in my openness about my spirituality, connected with the different seasons of the earth, and just as we come into our winter solstice, it's coming up, that darkest night of the year is so symbolic. It is of the light is returning, but there's that promise. There's always that promise of renewal as the sun starts to come out longer and longer, and the days get longer, and the warmth starts to return, and those first few shoots start to come up through the earth. Everything is reborn. Everything within us is sacred. So winter to me is that sacred time of turning within myself. What is it within myself that is time, it's coming in to be reborn? Or what is it within myself that it's time to let it go? It's time to release it. It's dying off. I don't need to hold that's in the past. It's not present in here now. What is it that I need to release? Just like the leaves are gone, just like everything is gone to be reborn again.
I love light and I crave light, but there's such a stillness and a beautiful sense of solitude and a calm feeling of groundedness in darkness. And what I've been enjoying with longer periods of darkness here is that we just get more of that. And so I've been digging into it and enjoying it instead of dreading and counting the days till we have our light.
I recognize that there is a need for my soul and for the greater version of myself to actually really honor that time of going as inward as I possibly can, like the opposite of my favorite, the summer, and the extrovert part of me, to that real like introvert, and almost like going into the earth.
Through my meditation and through my work with the archangels and Divine Mother, they've been healing that for me. And a piece of that I have found is letting go of things that no longer serve me. And part of that is, what are the holiday traditions that we do? And now that my oldest is almost going off to college. And, there's the question, do we keep the family tradition because that's what we've always done? Or do we shake it up and do what's calling from our own heart? And that's what we're doing this year. So letting go of things, decluttering things, shifting and changing and embracing the transformation.
Archangel Raphael is the angel that helps us declutter not just what's on the outside of us, but also what's going on inside. What are maybe some beliefs, some traditions, some of the things that just don't have a place inside of us anymore. They don't fit in there anymore. And be willing to let go of any toxic and self-sabotaging patterns. Be willing to forgive everyone involved, including and especially yourself.
This is a quote from Words of Wisdom card deck by Kalina Malnar. I am. There is no other meaning other than the presence of Goddess or God is within you.
Naomi, hold on, you're muted. Hold on. You're still muted.
There we go. All right. Week 8, Karen Palmer and Deb Goldberg discuss the importance of not losing touch with your childlike wonder. They led us in a couple of songs and meditation to reconnect to our inner child and reclaim our birthright of joy. Their topic was dancing with spirit, connecting with our childlike wonder and joy. Here are a few highlights from this show.
In your mind's eye, imagine a plate holding a heaping pile of these shiny, rich, emerald green stones. Each of these gems has been prepared for you to assist in your release of energy that keeps you from feeling joy.
I really experienced a lot in that. First, the gem itself turned into a white and pink rose flower, and the blossoms on the flower were coming open in my heart. And when you said to take it and put it into our mouth, when I put it on my tongue, I felt this explosion of joy and playfulness and wonder.
It was a blue gem that I picked. And when I put it on my tongue, I could feel spiritual energy racing all through my body. I'm still vibrating from it.
The truth is, I did come into the world as a bubble of joy, and I was able to keep my multisensory gifts for much of my childhood until I got into my later teens, and that's when I started getting ridiculed for the gifts that I had, and so I had to kind of tone it down. Like I had to tone down my happiness, tone down my joy, tone down my angelic gifts, to the point that I ended up in an abusive relationship, to the point that I ended up becoming homeless. I got into an addiction. And so I lost my connection with myself and with the angels. When we have our connection with the angels, when we have our connection with our true self, with our true magnificent self, our pure awareness self that we are, when we have that connection, there isn't any outside circumstance that can touch you, because you have what you are thinking is missing. That's a moment-to-moment choice. We get to choose in every moment whether we're going to complain or be grateful.
I had this profound dream that was just laid out for me to go to college. I had never gone to college before, and to become a therapist. And I felt like all of a sudden I had purpose, and that joy started to come back. I spent most of my life being numb, shut down and numb because of all my younger experiences. And until Jesus woke me up that was 5 years ago, I didn't understand that I was not being joyful. I didn't understand that I had so much stuff inside of me that needed to be cleared out and dealt with and processed. Spending time with Jesus and God and the angels is what kept helping me feel and know the joy that is inside of me. And so my idea of joy was this, bouncing off the walls. And Jesus told me, no, this is not what joy is. Joy is a peace and a stillness in your heart. So it is an ongoing process. And for me, it's trying to remember that I am joy. That is my divine nature. That is all of our divine nature. And connecting with that. And the best way to connect with that is through your inner child.
Every one of us on the planet right now has an inner child, a magical child, and a wonder child that is just waiting for you to acknowledge them. This relationship that we have with our angels is a huge opportunity for us in our human experience to be able to meld into the divine being that we are. Be in my heart, dear angels, as I wake, and shine our love for all the world to see. Let every person know the love that shines within them too.
Do you believe that you are loved more than you can imagine? Do you believe that every care is accounted for? Through your heart, you are guided by the source of eternal love. You are never left on your own and is always there to remind you of your divinity and your gifts, and to allow love to generously flow through you from a never-ending well that spreads hope, peace, and joy to all. Rest in love, my darling. Rest in love, for you are the angel of morning. Rest in love, for you are the angel of morning. God bless you.
Deb, that was beautiful.
This is a quote from the Words of Wisdom card deck by Karen Anderson. You are a creation of the divine, a divine love that permeates within each cell of your DNA. Step up and into the magic that you are, the treasures that reside deep within you. There you will hear the harmony of the entire universe, vibrational harmonies from the God code within your own DNA.
Deb Goldberg is going to provide us with a meditation that was channeled from God. It reminds us to remember our sacred home of oneness. Thank you, God, for burning off the residue of this life experience and helping us see and believe only in divine perfection by claiming our purity and honoring all the work we have done. We have cleared all the faulty beliefs, traumatic stories, and experiences we have accumulated. They are now transmuted and transformed. The next phase for 2020 is gracefully accepting our divinity, our purity and joy going forward.
Thank you, Anaya. You are driving, please stay present, and when you have time, you can listen to the replay of this meditation. And if you can, please relax by getting into a comfortable position, reclining if possible, and start to take deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Modifying the pace of your breath as you continue to focus on your breathing. Clear your mind with the rhythm of your breath and allow thoughts to float by and leave. Allow your body to relax as you gently breathe air in and out. Imagine yourself floating on a cloud. It envelops you in feather-light softness as it glides across the night sky. This is your divine transport home, and it feels as if you are flying on angel wings. You sink into the cloud and let it create a cocoon of warmth, love, and comfort. You continue on your cloud, passing through all time and space, bringing you into your real home, the sacred world of divine consciousness, holy love. Here, there is only infinite and eternal love, joy, and well-being. Life is oneness. It is everything you dream of having in your earthly world. You keep seeking it because you know it exists. You know that limitless peace already belongs to you. It is a faint memory in your heart. You, dear one, are always trying to find heaven on earth. But you never left the sacred world. It only feels like you have. It lives within you, not outside of you. As you keep gliding along on your cloud, you start to remember your true nature, that everything is perfection, that you are pure of heart, innocent, and your sacred home is unconditional love. It is God, and you are one. The love encompasses all of you and holds you now, replacing the cloud as it dissipates within the love, and you become pure light, white light. You have no cares or worries. You just exist as loving white light, knowing that this is your true nature and home. It is a state of complete wholeness, of peaceful joy, and one with all of eternity. The oneness of God's love is what you had forgotten, but you remember it now as you drift along eternity as infinite love. It is your sacred home, and it is where you always are. You never left. You just think you did. Take in the love that you truly are, that fills you so perfectly, and believe that nothing else exists. This is all there ever was, and you are complete in this state of being and knowingness. It never changes regardless of what your senses tell you. Allow yourself to keep drifting in this ocean of love, letting go of everything and accepting your purity, your divinity. Allow yourself to be in this blissful, eternal love while you return to your dream state of being a self. For nothing has really changed, only that you believe you are living a life somewhere in make-believe time. Do not forget, dear one, that you are sacred love, having a dream. Bring your light, love, and purity back into your dream. Let it permeate every thought, spoken word, and action, for this is how you bring heaven to earth to awaken others. Remember who you truly are and share your blessed love, grace, and joy with everyone, for they are you.
all faces of God's infinite love, our sacred home of oneness, and have forgotten. In preparation for the ceremony of light, which takes place at the healing pool, listen to this beautiful music, keeping your eyes closed and remembering who you truly are and what you came here to do in the miracle dream we call life.
While we were preparing to meet with the divine for the ceremony of light, they too were preparing for our being there. They were setting the intention of our coming together in this space of heaven and earth, coming together, spirit along with spirit and body. We stand here in the healing pool, basking in divine light, immersed in the healing pool of unconditional love. It is our intention that as we are gathered together today, we feel the warm embrace of the divine. Divine Mother reminds us of the words she shared with us during the summits. I see you. I hear you. I know your heart. We can feel the deep healing in knowing that we are seen and that our divinity knows our heart and holds nothing but unconditional love for us. Feel the coolness of the water washing over us, washing away anything that is unlike love. You may feel like dancing. You may feel like crying, but take just a moment to feel what it is like to be together in this amazing pool of divine healing love. Feel the angel standing beside you now, gently guiding you out of the healing pool to join all the others. We will emerge from the pool as nothing but divine light, nothing but love. For we know that we are nothing but love. And in the end, love is all that there is. So we now stand victorious together. Now let's arrange ourselves to make a circle around the pool. An angel is beside you, and your spirit guides are behind you in a concentric circle with all the other spirit guides. Other angels, the runners, then surround the circle of spirit guides. Feel the energy as it swirls around us. See that you are nothing but divine light. As you are part of this circle, see that everyone's divine light looks like a beam that is emanating toward the heavens. If your name was read out loud in a previous ceremony of light, please just hold space for others. In a moment, I will ask you to state your name out loud, if you so desire. Stating your name out loud signifies that you want to be recognized by the spiritual divinity as someone who is devoted to walking in divine light and emanating divine light into the world through your connection with God, Christ, Divine Mother, or the archangels. As you state your name, the runner angel behind you will take your name and fly upward even further into the ethereal realm where the book of life is kept. Your name will be written into the book of life. Whenever you pray or meditate, you will be recognized as someone whose name is in the book of life. If you are one with the divine light of the spiritual divinity and would like to have your name be recognized in the book of life, please state your name out loud now.
Carol Ann Cross.
Anaya Joy Holili.
Summer Joy Raymer.
Sharon Ria.
Ivana Bozo Morano.
Deb Goldberg.
Olivia Harwood.
Teri Angel.
And I can see the runner angels heading further up with your names to put them in the book of life. I see that the divine light that is shining from each of us is combined together and shining very brightly. I'm reminded that whenever two or more are gathered, there is additional strength to our prayers and meditations. Let's share this moment of being together in divine form, basking in connection and oneness. And I see that the light that we're sending up to the heavens is coming down tenfold to us and enveloping all of us in pure divine light. And there's such celebration from the angels and our spirit guides, Divine Mother, and God of this time of unity and love. May we each individually and then collectively bow to our beloved Creator, recognizing the spark that shines within each of us, knowing that there is no separation. There never has been any separation. We are one. We are love. We are divine. You may stay in this place of celebration for as long as you wish. You may also come back here anytime you wish. Archangel Michael gave me this blessing to share with you whenever we share a ceremony of light. May it be with the blessings of God, the universe, Divine Mother, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Raphael, that you, beloved of God, is anointed with love, light, and blessings, to step further into your role of sacred being. This blessing is bestowed upon you such that you and all souls will be transformed through love and light. May every action taken and every word be said for the highest good of your growth, divine purpose, and for all involved. May you always seek guidance and counsel when you are unsure of your way. In love and light. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. Enlightened World will be hosting a day of healing all day starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on January 16. That's USA time, right, Ruth?
8 a.m. Yes, Eastern.
Okay, which will be the following day for us here in Australia. And the conclusion of the day will be broadcast on Angel Heart Radio. Yay! Please look for notifications on Enlightened World Network on Facebook and also on enlightenedworld.online.
Thank you. And thank you, ladies, for joining us tonight. Thank you for everyone who's viewing this tonight. And Anea, to you for being our mistress of ceremonies. Thank you so much. And now we go into the world, coming from this space of love, connection, and wholeness. May we remember that in all of our actions, in all our doings, that we are never alone. We stand in this community of spirit and humans together, and we know that we can always return to the healing pool with Divine Mother and to this place of oneness that we hold dear in our hearts. With that, we wish you all a good evening. With much love, God bless. Good night, all.